What is up, Gundam Meisters and Innovators? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode, we're concluding Gundam 00, a Wakening of the Trailblazer. Last time, Linda Vashti returned from the Jupiter sphere with a brand new Gundam. ESF found themselves their own innovator, and an alien race known as ELS attacks the people of Earth. The newly rebirthed Tieria tells them that ELS is indeed sentient. This time, ELS comes and swarms towards the Earth sphere. Kitty commands EFF's fleet, while Setsuna goes into a coma. He must wake up and come to an understanding with an alien race. No big deal, so let's get into this. Tieria thinks that Setsuna may be able to communicate with the aliens. Kitty meets with Billy and Mina, who are introduced to Descartes. They need his help, though he isn't sure how. They wonder if he could communicate with them. He says that he could hear it cry. Suddenly, everyone with high quantum brainwaves gets an overwhelming sensation. In the Jupiter sphere, a giant hole appears. Out of it comes thousands of bigger ELS vessels. They begin making their way towards Earth. It will take them 95 days to make it to Earth. Setsuna wants to go meet them. The Federation Parliament squabble over what they should do. Some are happy this will give them an opportunity to roll out new mobile suits. The President and her council assume that ELS are after Veda as it has high quantum brainwaves. They're going to use Descartes to try to lead them away from Earth. ESF sends out a fleet to deal with ELS. ESF and ELS will converge somewhere around Mars. Commanding the fleet is Kim in a Niles-class ship. The Niles-class ship is the next generation of mobile suit carriers. It uses GNT drives, but how many are unknown. This was made by former Union engineers, and the design is somewhere in between the Virginia and the Pickel-class ship. Its primary weapons are its laser cannons, 4 on the bow, 4 on the aft, and 2 on each engine. It has docking clamps that we see mainly used to carry the Gatalaza. Other weapons include the flat cannon. It is also equipped with the Trans-Am system. Kim volunteered for this mission because he is trying to live up to the ideals of his old friend Sergei. The Gatalaza and the Jinxes launch, but Descartes takes off on his own. He approaches the ELS swarm and fires. The Ptolemaeus is making its way to the battle. Many Jinx pilots are absorbed. A giant ELS probe crashes into the Niles-class ship, absorbing Kim and his crew. Well, you wanted to live up to Sergei, and he did die on the battlefield, so this one's on you. Descartes fires on the absorbed ship, but it does nothing. A swarm surrounds the Gatalaza. Celestial beings make it to the battlefield and notice the giant swarm forming. They are too late to save Descartes. Well, that character served very little purpose. Setsuna plans on using the riser system to create a GN field increasing quantum brainwaves. He tries to communicate with it. As he tries a typical naked quantum brainwave sesh with ELS, the alien seems to reject him and tries to absorb Setsuna. Tieria activates Sarah V2 to get the attention of the swarm. The GN-008RE Sarah V Gundam 2 is the successor of Sarah V Gundam and is also unmanned. This is technically a rebuild or a Kai, as this was built from the wreckage of Sarah V. This mounts on the shoulders of Raphael Gundam. Tieria controls the unit via quantum brainwaves. It can self-destruct if needed. Foreshadowing, it can activate the Trans-Am system and is equipped with the GN Bazooka and GN Beam Saber. Tieria tries to remove the shards from 00 Riser. He rips open the cockpit and grabs Setsuna. He too becomes infected by the swarm. He throws Setsuna's pod at lock-on and he heads back to the ship. Tieria activates his Trans-Am and self-destructs. He's fine, he doesn't need a body. Something activates in Alleluia, and he turns into Hallelujah. One thing to note is that it seems Madi and Alleluia's brainwaves are on the same wavelength, while Soma and Hallelujah's brainwaves are in sync. Two people with did, both personalities falling in love with one another. What are the odds? Lock-on is almost attacked when the Soul Brave units come in to help. This is Graham's new squad of Braves. The Jinx 903 VS Brave Standard Test Type is the successor to the Union Flag and the AEU Enact, but with the latest GN technology. This is a return to form. However, it does utilize many technologies found in Graham's old Masudao. In addition to its high mobility and the flight mode's long-distance travel capability, the Brave also has a lot of firepower. This is designed for short and sweet Black Ops missions and has a flight form. It is mounted with GN Tau drive. The binders and beam sabers are smaller than the commander type. The Drake Howling GN beam rifle allows the unit to use the Tri-Punisher attack that the Susanoo did. Other weapons include Chakram grenades, a GN cannon, a GN machine gun, a 30mm machine gun on each wrist, and 4 GN missiles stored in the legs. This has the Trans-Am system as well. The Jinx 903 VW Brave Commander Test Type is Graham Acker's mobile suit. Like the standard unit, this has 2 GN Tau drives on the back. The standard unit is easier to control than the commander unit and is designed for ace pilots. It also has a slightly longer antenna. This commander unit specifically is designed to be left-handed as Graham is left-handed. This unit has the same weapons loadout as the standard unit. As they begin attacking, the ELS form into a giant ball. The team goes to check on Setsuna, who is in a coma. This was caused by him taking in too much information from ELS. Sumeragi is yelling at Virtual Chiedia for getting his body killed. Graham is mad that he won't have the opportunity to face Setsuna again now that he is in a coma. Dude has a one-track mind. More ELS swarms begin appearing around Jupiter. The president begins prepping shelters for the people of Earth. ELS preps for an interplanetary battle. There will be 3 waves of fleets. The final line of defense is the Celestial Being Mothership, where Kitty Mannequin will be stationed. They are throwing everything they have at it. Marina opens the palace doors to allow the people to use this shelter. She doesn't plan on leaving Azatistan. The Federation is looking for every engineer willing to help out at the orbital elevators during this battle. Saji is going out to help. The thought of meeting aliens turns on Mina and makes Billy kiss her. Do me, damn it! The Ptolemaeus meets up with Linda and Ian Vashti to find that they were too late. Chiedia wants to put a Veda link into 00 Quant. Aeolia believes that 3 things were necessary for the arrival of aliens: GN drives, Veda, and innovators. Setsuna proved that an innovator with the help of the GN drive can talk to ELS, but it overloads, causing a brain aneurysm. Veda is the 3rd missing link. It can control the flow of information to prevent him from going into a coma. This is all predicated on the fact that Setsuna will wake up, which isn't a certainty. The giant ELS swarm begins advancing. ESF's first wave begins a missile barrage. Once Kitty sees how useless this is, she preps the Celestial Being's large megaparticle gun. Oh hey, Andre is here. What have you been up to? Katie fires the cannon on the swarm ball. The swarm begins to fuse with ESF technologies, and they mimic looking and functioning like mobile suits. In this case, Jinxes. One of the Soul Brave pilots go down. ELS then mimics a Baikal-class ship. Katie fires the large cannons again at the ball swarm. It deflects the beam like a GN field. It is learning from them. Celestial Beings Gundams come in to help. It seems like Soma and Hallelujah are in charge. Lakan has extended his bits with the power of Haros. Also, if you read any of the 00 manga, Celestial Being Haros are ghosts in the shell. Some of them are humans inside a Haro body. Just something to think about. The Ptolemy unleashes a missile barrage. Setsuna is battling with his past and his mind. He sees everyone that we have seen died in the series. Felt, feels. The swarms tried to assimilate the Celestial Being cannons. Andre's mobile suit activates its Trans Am, and he is killed in action. Bye, Andre. You didn't get the girl and you died like your dad. Hey, wait a minute, you killed your dad. You suck, Andre. While people die on the battlefield, Setsuna is able to sense all of it. He sees Marina helping her people, as well as Saji helping in space. He then talks to his dead comrades and sees the rose that Felt gave him at the end of Season 2. This helps Setsuna wake up from his coma. Once he is on his feet, he takes off in the new 00 Quant. The GNT-0000 Quant is a mobile suit designed for Setsuna after he awakened his true innovative form. It takes a lot of battle data from the 00 Gundam 7 Sword G. The Zabanya and Harut use scrap parts because most of the budget went to using new parts for this new mobile suit. This too has the twin drive system. This is equipped with 6 GN Sword bits, which are controlled via quantum brainwaves. This unit can activate the quantum system and allow a true innovator to unify the collective conscious of everything, encompassing the surrounding GN particles. Other weapons include the GN Sword 5 and the GN Shield. It also has a Veda terminal that produces a tiny Tiedia. Just as Patrick is about to be consumed, he is saved by Setsuna. Luckiest guy in the world, man. Tiny Tiedia tells him to head towards the center of the swarm ball. The Soul Brave team comes in to protect him as he gets closer. Lock-On activates his Trans Am and goes full Freedom Gundam on ELS. Alleluia and Hallelujah argue with one another during the battle. As he gets in close, the swarm goes after 00. Setsuna activates Trans Am and uses the GN Sword bits to fire a burst sword. It doesn't do enough damage to penetrate the ball swarm. That is when Graham comes in. He's being assimilated by ELS and is a dead man walking. He activates his Trans Am and crashes into the ball, exposing a hole. Setsuna goes into the gooey center. Sumeragi tells the crew to abandon ship, but they all refuse. Setsuna flies through the alien sperm. He gets to the center and activates the quantum system. Time to go on a trip. You aren't going to need clothes where you're going. He learns that their homeworld is dying, and they sent out a cosmic space eyeball to find a way for them to survive. They need to better understand each other. Setsuna and Tieria use quantum teleportation and disappear. The ELS stop attacking and form together to make a flower, which looks similar to the flower Felt gave them. Everyone looks on in amazement. AD 2091. A man named E.A. Ray is talking to a young Aeolia Shinberg. This man seems to be the basis for Ribbon's Elmark. He wonders why Aeolia confined himself after inventing perpetual energy, creating quantum computers, and discovering a new particle. He says that the tool they use to better understand each other can also be used to hurt one another. AD 2364. A deep space vessel, the Sumeragi, is planning a trip to explore the galaxy. With them are Sakibures. The GNW-100A Sakibure is an advanced work loader used mainly as a tool, though it is as powerful as a mobile suit. AI has advanced so much in 2364 that there's really no need for humans to pilot anymore, though there are manual versions of this unit. There are 5 variants: the condenser type, ELS type, GN Drive Tau type, human type, and GN Drive type. There are no weapons, but it has a Trans-Am system and the quantum system. On board is the girl Ami, who was the first person to get assimilated. The commander of this journey is an older Klaus. In the Middle East, an older Marina Ishmael hears a voice. It is Setsuna. He is still young and with silver hair, so it is assumed he has assimilated with ELS. It took him 50 years, but he was finally able to understand Marina's desire for true peace. And that will conclude Mobile Suit Gundam 00, A Wakening of the Trailblazer. I don't have a problem with aliens, but the execution just wasn't there and doesn't add to the end of the series. Alleluia and Mari's story was done, and they were pretty much just hanging out in this movie. They probably should have remained on Earth. Andre was working to become a better man, only to die. I did like the sacrifice that Graham made, however. At least his character built up to that moment. Like it or not, this movie achieves what other Gundam series doesn't. It actually achieves some form of peace, or at least is working together towards that peace. I guess Wing is too, but it is too high concept and Shakespearean to care about the nuance. This in many ways is like Wing if Wing took geopolitics seriously. That being said, it took war to achieve this state and required force through military engineering. Weapons were necessary to create the GN Drive, which was achieved through a military arms race. Even though Setsuna acknowledges that Marina's pacifist ways were right, humanity couldn't get there without war. It mirrors the American space program of the 60s, which was built off the back of World War II. The ballistic weapons we used to kill became the tool to get us into space. Too bad that's all gone now. We aren't done with this universe just yet. We have started exploring Mobile Suit Gundam 00I and will be going through 00P and many other 00 side stories. But that'll do it for now, new types. Remember, peace can't be achieved if there is no conflict. But through conflict comes better understanding. Or at least that's what I'm told. Peace.